Hello, all sentient beings, and welcome to the Transmissions Podcast, where we talk all Hasbro, Takara, and third-party Transformers! On this episode of Transmissions, Transformers War for Cybertron Quintesson Pit of Judgment 5-pack is revealed. We get a good look at the Transformers Top Gun crossover figure, and John Warden is leaving the Transformers brand. Today is Wednesday, July 22nd, 2020, and this is episode 391 of Transmissions.
Welcome to Transmissions, the podcast that assumes future American history books will be rewritten because President Kanye West never read them. Hashtag alternative facts. I'm your host Charles, aka Big C, and I'm joined by the excellent Transmissions team. Jeremy, aka Yakko.
Hey, how's it going?
Creator, producer, and star of Empire of Rust, editor Mike.
I live by alternative facts.
And Daryl, the Cybertronian beast.
I'm gonna let you finish, but President Trump is one of the best presidents of all time. Let's talk Transformers.
And there's an example of an alternative fact. All right. Texas Yoshi snuck in the back door.
Sounds painful.
As always, we start off the show by thanking our donatrons, those lovely people who give us money on Patreon and PayPal. And this week we have a brand new donatron that we welcome into the ranks. Please welcome, we have a real live Autobot joining our donatron, Jazzmeister. Thank you so much, Jazzmeister, your American and Japanese Transformer name.
Yeah, very cool. Awesome. I'm not sure if this is the same Jazz we've seen in Discord lately, but...
no, that's a different Jazz, because that Jazz has been a Patreon for several months already. So
that's movie Jazz. You shouldn't insult our audience, Daryl.
Wouldn't that be like calling me like Mike Miguel or something?
Yeah, I guess I guess that's one way to look at it. Yeah,
Jazzmeister, write in, let us know.
We're fuzzy on the whole naming concept, but we thank you for your support and welcome to the club. Sit and stay a while. Please join the Patreon or join the Discord and let us know what you think.
They're already on Patreon, Charles.
You already joined the Patreon. Yeah, he's already did that. He already did that.
Join it again. We're a little punch drunk this episode.
And Jazzmeister is now automatically entered into our Toy Hacks $10 giveaway that comes every month. We just want to remind you about that because our drawing for this month is probably going to be coming up next week, since that's the last week of the month. And if you are not already a donatron and would like to enter the contest, you can still enter even if you're not a donatron, but you need to send an email to contest@transmissionspodcast.com. The cutoff is Sunday, July 26th, if you want to get entered into the July drawing. So send an email, send us a picture of a Transformer toy that you plan to get stickered with your Toy Hacks $10 gift code, and you will get entered into the contest. Of course, you can also just join the donatron, become a donatron, and you get automatically entered just like Jazzmeister did. But either way, we are still happy to add you to the contest. Another way to support the show is to buy some merchandise from our TeePublic store. That is at transmissionspodcast.com/shop. You can also check out our friend K-Girl store at her TeePublic stores, teepublic.com/user/superstark. She has some awesome art designs that she's given us for some of our shirts and done other artwork for us. And she has some of her own designs up there too. If you buy anything from TeePublic through our link, that gives us a little bit of a percentage as well. So that helps the show out, even if you're buying something completely non-Transformers related and non-Transmissions related. But you just got to go through transmissionspodcast.com/shop, and that'll help us out. And lastly, before we get into the big toy news this week, we want to remind you that Empire of Rust episode 28, the explosion episode, is out. It should be in all your feeds, in the main podcast feed. It came out this Monday, July 20th. So if you are subscribed to the main Transmissions feed, you should already have it in your podcast reader. If not, just go to transmissionspodcast.com/Rust and you can get all the episodes of Empire Rust from there. Episode 28, the action is heating up as they explore the Energon station, Opibus. There's some weird goings on there. All the crew is dead. It looks like there's a monster trapped in there with them, and things are going to get a little bit dicey. So we wish them all luck. Hopefully no one else dies in this adventure, but you never know. Mike, any little teases you want to give for this episode?
Well, I kind of spoiled it with just the episode title. So there will be an explosion, at least one, maybe two. But this episode is a little behind the scenes. We usually record pretty early. So this episode, I believe, was recorded back in early April, and this was right after the whole stay-at-home order started. So there is a nice kind of little breaking the fourth wall thing going on at the beginning, and yeah, so we were all hoping that the state of the world, it was a little bit different now, but well, not a whole lot has changed. So you get to start hearing us recording from home. So audio is going to sound a little bit different. We get a little bit better as the episodes go along, but just bear with us a little bit on that one because it, like I said, it is a little bit of a different sound.
Yeah, I was listening to it and I was laughing and also crying when you talked about, oh, we hope things are back to normal by the time this episode goes up. And like, yeah.
Hey, I never said I was good at predicting things.
All right. Well, I think that's all the news items we wanted to make you aware of in transmissions, but let's go to all the stuff we came here for and talk about all the toy news that's dropped this week.
All right, so we're going to start off this week with the official images that were released of the other crossover figure that we got actually first before the Back to the Future one. This is the Top Gun crossover with Transformers, and it's the Maverick figure. And we got official images of it. Well, a lot more involved than I thought it was going to be. Let's take a look and see what we've got here. This is going to be, like we were able to kind of figure out from the leak earlier, it's an F-14 Tomcat that transforms into a robot. It does come with an extra set of hands that are a little bit differently set up. It comes with a motorcycle, so you can have a race with the motorcycle, I guess, down the runway, and a volleyball, because it played volleyball in the movie, right? There was a volleyball scene. Yeah. So there you go. The character's name is Maverick, which we were able to figure out from the leak, but these new pictures do kind of show us a little bit more detail. Well, actually, a lot more detail than what we were able to see before. The paint scheme on them is it's a jet. It's a U.S. Navy jet, and it's a lot of gray. A super duper amount of gray. A little bit of detail, like just kind of like a weathered look almost on them. Does get some of the markings for the jet. Some tail fin stuff. Some number 114, which I think was Maverick's jet in the first movie. I'm not sure. I haven't seen it in like 15 years. Anyway, it does very much look like an F-14 Tomcat. So
it is officially licensed from Northrop Grumman. If you look at the back of the box.
Officially licensed from who?
Northrop Grumman, who they designed the F-14.
All right then. So that's good.
It's a plane company, Daryl. You know, Lockheed Martin, Boeing, Northrop Grumman. It's another plane company. It's a real company, Daryl.
I'll take your word for it.
Their logo's on the back of the box.
All right. So the plane is licensed. There you go. They did an awful lot of paint job, or an awful lot of painting on the helmet or the head sculpt of the figure, giving it the authentic Maverick helmet from the first movie. A red visor and a black faceplate. This kind of makes you think that, if we could get a couple of these things, you could change out the head and maybe you could have an Iceman or a Goose. No, maybe not Goose. Poor Goose. But yeah, definitely an Iceman. That would be kind of cool. But the paint job on the helmet is it looks good. It looks like the original movie Maverick helmet. As far as the articulation of the figure goes, it looks like it's got it all. I do like the fact that it does come with a volleyball. That's just a really fun little accessory that it really didn't have to come with, but it does, and it's neat. Nobody has been able to, over the course of this thing kind of getting released, nobody has been able to find a figure that this has been remolded from. And there's been a lot of really prominent, Transformer reviewers and stuff that have been taking a look at this thing, and nobody has been able to place this. I think this is a new mold.
Maybe a pre-mold for something else.
Could be, yeah. So let's open it up to the floor and get everyone's opinion on it. Jeremy, you seem to have a lot of knowledge about military aircraft and where they come from and who makes them. So what is your thoughts on this scale model of an F-14 Tomcat, and is it weapons ready?
I mean, it's almost there. I think it's pretty good. The paint, the little splash, I don't know if it's what do you want to describe, the kind of
weathering,
dirty look the weathering stuff. It doesn't look good. When I think of an F-14, I want to think of it as clean, shiny, not one that looks like it's just been sitting on the tarmac rusting.
Okay.
So that immediately turns me off. But I do like the figure, although having it so gray and then just having such a colorful head, that is kind of weird. I don't know. I mean, it's so weird just seeing that little bit of color. It kind of makes the head look smaller to me. But I love the accessories, the fact that it comes with a volleyball. Mm-hmm. And I think the other hands are specifically for the volleyball. It looks like they have a peg on them.
I would assume so.
Yeah. I'm a big Top Gun fan, although I am wondering, you keep saying this is from the first movie. There's not another movie. It's never coming out. It was, it's supposed to be a July or June?
Right, it was a summer release, yep.
Yeah, so who knows when it's going to come out.
Well, I mean,
but anyway,
we're getting back into our theaters here in, any moment. So, I mean, it'll come out here.
I don't know. But
good job, Daryl.
Hollywood's still in America, Daryl. They're not releasing their movies to you guys.
If they want money, they will.
Well, they don't want your money.
Oh.
Well, but I'm looking at this on the vehicle mode, and it looks like, if I can zoom in here, yeah, there are tampos. If you look by the cockpit on vehicle mode, there are tampos there for Maverick and Goose next to their seats in the cockpit.
I see.
So that's really cool. And then you can see that Northrop Grumman logo right there too.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyway, yeah, it might not necessarily be for me in terms of robot design and stuff, but I think it's a cool idea. I'm still liking these crossovers.
Cool. Mike, this thing is currently available on Hasbro Pulse for $49.99. It's a due out October the 7th this year, so it might come out, around the time when the movie is released. Who knows? But it's a pretty neat endeavor, especially if it's a new mold. What do you think, if it is a brand new mold, what do you think they could use this for outside of being just a Top Gun crossover vehicle? And also, what are your thoughts on it?
I get a Jetfire vibe from this thing, especially in vehicle mode.
Sure, yeah.
No idea if they would try anything like that, but hey, even seeing that that little panel kind of right behind the cockpit, it's very just reminiscent of it. So, but yeah, As far as the figure itself, I like everything from the neck up.
Okay.
I'm sorry. I know this is okay. Assuming this is a new mold, new figure, that's really impressive, and I really do like seeing that. And I hope Hasbro continues to do stuff like that. But I'm looking at like some of these images, and especially like some of the close-ups where you see like the underside of the forearm, where it's just it. I would expect a little bit more design having gone into this, especially for such an exclusive and kind of like a big figure for Hasbro. I mean, I'm looking at like the bottom of the forearms there, and it just looks so cheap. I mean, I've seen like I don't know, like Easter basket like toys that feel better quality or look better quality than some of the stuff I'm seeing here. But yeah, especially the underside of the forearm, the way the front panel thing just kind of like hangs off the front part of his chest where his neck is. The like where the joints are on the hip, it just kind of seems like tacked on there kind of thing. I don't know, just the whole look just feels it just feels weak. No, I'm not going to comment about the color scheme for it because, I mean, as Jeremy said, it's a jet. You know, you expect it to be a fairly consistent color over the whole thing. The weathering, I really could just take it or leave it. I don't really mind it. Looking at it from the top, it does add some interest to the top, which is kind of neat. The cockpit design, like that whole section from like the back of the cockpit to the nose, like that whole section seems to have a ton of detail to it, a ton of really cool things happening. And it's just that one section looks really cool. And the rest of it's just, for me, it's, I don't know, I guess the whole thing just looks cheap.
All right. Now, Charles, I was under the impression that you used to fly F-14 Tomcats. And you're fairly
got
close.
the wrong impression. You got the wrong impression.
Well, you have a fairly strong connection to this plane, and that you unfortunately did lose a co-pilot or a navigator in a training exercise back when you were in the Navy. What seeing this figure, what kind of memories does it bring up? Does it bring up any painful war stories, or do you want to get something like this? What are your thoughts when you see Maverick here?
Yes, Daryl. Thank you for reminding me that Top Gun was a biographical movie about my life, and that brings up painful memories.
Have you really lost that love and feeling?
It just takes my breath away, really. This is not for me, unfortunately. I've seen Top Gun. I saw Top Gun in the 80s. I think I liked the movie at the time. I have not had the occasion to revisit Top Gun recently. It's not high on my list of 80s movies. For crossover ideas, this is probably at the near the bottom of my list for crossovers that I would like to see. So it's just not something that I'm interested in. I think Top Gun is kind of a weird property to cross over with Transformers, given that there's no sci-fi elements in, or fantastical elements in it at all. Or I mean, maybe if you think Tom Cruise flying a jet is fantastical enough, I don't know, but
well, it's not like they could really cross over with G.I. Joe. There's no real product line there.
You got shade on Tom Cruise and shade on Top Gun today, or G.I. Joe.
So, I mean, I'm glad people are enjoying this for fans of Top Gun. I mean, it's clear that this was, of course, a promotion for the new movie. COVID-19 threw a big old wrench in those works. So, that's, but this is, the toys were still in production. They were manufactured, so got to put them out. I don't really like the figure either. I mean, I like the jet design looks good, but again, like Jeremy said, I am not a fan of the weathering look. I would prefer a clean, shiny look. And the robot mode, I just don't like the design. I think it looks more Go-Body and less Transformers-y, if that makes sense. And yeah, I mean, it's just not for me. So I mean, and that's fine. I mean, I don't have any problem with it. I'm quite happy we're getting the Back to the Future crossover. So it's 1 out of 2 ain't bad for me. But this is not this guy.
Why do you hate Transformers?
I just have no joy in my life, Jeremy. I just have to hate on everything.
Are you a doctor of sadness?
I think the little accessories are fun. The motorcycle and the volleyball. That's cool. But again, I not being really into the movie or into Top Gun as a crossover. It's a thing like, I look at it and say, oh, that's nice. I hope fans enjoy that. But yeah, not for me. That's
fine. I think before I let this topic go, I wanted to mention that if this thing is actually like a pre-mold for something else that's coming, a couple other topics or ideas that have been thrown around. We touched on it there for a moment, but never really went anywhere. But the G.I. Joe is starting to kind of make a resurgence. They had an F-14 Tomcat in their line, the Sky Striker, and it could very well be a pre-mold for some kind of G.I. Joe crossover. There's also a whole whack of frickin' vehicles with G.I. Joe that you could also make as a crossover.
Be a Leader 1.
Could be a Leader 1, yeah. I know that was thrown out as well. As far as, this is... there's no doubt that this is a F-14 Tomcat because it's, licensed by, some American military company.
Northrop Grumman. It's very easy to say.
Stop trying to turn me into your war machine, Charles.
Just being able to say the name of the company doesn't mean you endorse them.
I think it does. I don't think, going back on it, I don't think there was any actual F-14 Tomcats in the Transformers line outside of the toy for G1 Jetfire, who was very much an F-14 Tomcat. So,
was there no Micromasters?
Not that I can think of. I mean, I'm trying my best to kind of, remember.
One of the aerial bots?
Maybe, but then why make one, right? So yeah, I mean, for anyone else out there that's kind of looking at this thing and thinking, okay, well, what else could this be, right? And I'm thinking, trying to remember a Transformer that this could probably be turned into that's a F-14 Tomcat in its alt mode, but who do you see this as, right? The other point in that is that I kind of make here is that the robot mode is not a very kind of standard G1 looking robot mode. If I had to kind of place it in any line, it'd be much closer to Studio Series where it's a movie design, right? So that being said, it's a very interesting figure. We're now obviously confirmed to get 2 crossover figures this year. That's not nothing. So, let's look forward to what 2021 might hold. So, I mean, and this also does open the door for not essentially cartoon properties either. Cause I mean, we were looking at, Ghostbusters cause they had a cartoon and a toy line. Then we had Back to the Future, which is, that's not really it did have a cartoon and it did have a toy line, but it's mostly the movie. Now we're looking at way outside of that area with the Top Gun line. So, we're really opened up to anything here now that could be a crossover with Transformers.
I'm sure they'll get into TV shows too, because they know how many people want something like a kit.
Oh yeah, for sure. I'm waiting for like the Transformers crossover with the Breakfast Club though. That'll be an interesting thing.
That'll be the blaster. The classics Jetfire was an F-14.
Oh, okay.
And there are a few other characters, but it looks like it's more the toys were made to be F-14s at some point.
Mm-hmm. All right. Well, let's take a step away from the Maverick figure, and we'll look at what came up on Friday, which was another Fan First Friday event from Hasbro. And this one was hosted by Walmart, wasn't it? Something like that?
No, it was the Hasbro. It was the same. I forget her name. The same lady who Rachel.
Right. Yes. Wasn't there one from Walmart or something like that?
She had a new co-host.
No, it was Walmart
One of the-
CollectorCon. That was that was not a. There was
Yeah.
no live stream for that. It was just a bunch of stuff that went up on the Walmart site.
All the Walmart exclusives that they announced were in the Walmart CollectorCon section
Gotcha.
of the website.
Okay.
Rachel had a new co-host this time.
Right, that's right. She did. Okay, so on the Fan First Friday event this time around, we got a look at some new figures, but a little bit more on some older figures as well. The new figures, or some of the old figures that we got a new look at, was the Generation Selects Rotostorm. They showed off his new head, which looks great. Definitely doesn't look like the
Spinister.
other guy. Spinister's head.
Spinister.
Yeah, that one. Why can I never remember his name? And they showed off the Top Gun Maverick figure, a new Netflix Siege t-shirt, and then they got into some of the new figures. So we've got Walmart exclusives Netflix collection Wave 2. This is Elita 1 is the first one using Earthrise RC's mold as a base and getting a new chest and head. And this is kind of cool. I know that, weren't we talking with Epic last week about, she's like, I hope we get an Elita. And, here you go, Epic. So there you are. And that's kind of cool. There are pictures of all these figures, so that's pretty neat. And you can take a look at the link in the show notes to take a look at the pictures. There's also a new Wheeljack coming, Earthrise Deluxe mold, Red Alert. That's the Siege mold with weathering, Impactor Siege mold with extra weathering, and a Bumblebee, which is Earthrise Cliff Jumper mold, remolded new head, Volkswagen Bug alternate mode, and this was very, very expected. So that's kind of cool. So the one thing here out of these, the Netflix kind of the first, deluxe figures, is that Elita and Bumblebee are not showing the weathering like the first series were, or the other three in this list. So that's a departure. Very, very cool. Very cool. Next on the list is the Netflix Voyager. We got 3 packs, I guess. I guess these are so they've got the main figure and then two Micromasters. So Earthrise Optimus Prime, he's got a new head and comes with Anorax and Sheldron Battlemasters. So these ones are repaints of Earthrise Sound Barrier. It's a clear gold figure and a replication of Optimus's weapon. And then the second one is Earth Mode Voyager Soundwave with Micromaster Ravage and Laserbeak. This will be a cool one to get. So not only do you get Soundwave, but you also get the Laserbeak and Ravage tapes. So you're getting a really cool pack all in one at a leader price point. So that's pretty cool.
And they're slightly modified Laserbeak and Ravage. Like Laserbeak has the actual head,
right?
The Earth mode, and
that's right.
I'm not sure how Ravage differs.
So
Ravage also has a different head, slightly different head.
Cool.
And a different
cool.
deco.
And so does Soundwave. He doesn't have all that, the scratches on the tape window and stuff like that. So he's a little bit more remolded as well. But very cool. That's very cool. And personally, I haven't gotten any of the Netflix series stuff. Neither one of these are actually showing that they're actually coming with any battle damage on them or anything like that. And the Optimus that they've just mentioned, they haven't mentioned anything about it having a trailer. So
I don't think it does.
So there you go. If you wanted an Optimus, an Earthrise Optimus with no trailer, here you go. There is a Netflix leader figure spoiler pack, and they have not mentioned who's in it because it's a spoiler pack. So there you go. It's a leader size figure. It includes a Battle Masters, accessories, and a surprise. There are Cybertronian clues hidden on the package, so if you probably look hard enough, there's probably someone out there who's figured it out and is spoiling it for you. So,
no, the clues don't seem to give away the big figure.
No?
Pack,
cool.
From what I've seen.
Anybody want to take a guess? Anybody want to take a guess at what it is? A leader-size figure?
A lot of what I've seen online says people are thinking it's going to be like a Nemesis Prime, but I don't know. It likely is Decepticon. But
a Megatron?
Megatron for these... I mean, Megatron would be a Voyager-size figure.
Maybe it's a leader class?
It's a leader class, yeah.
Maybe a remold of Jetfire.
Well, that's too big.
Wow.
Omega
Maybe a
Supreme?
Galvatron.
Oh, you got it.
Who are the leaders that are already out? It's not Ultra Magnus because he was the last one.
Right. So
Shockwave.
There's Shockwave, Ultra Magnus, then Astrotrain, and Optimus.
But Optimus is just a Voyager class figure with a trailer, right?
That's leader class though. So, and then we've got Double Dealer is the new leader. But also, I mean, that's what Shockwave was and Ultra Magnus was too. I mean, they were all leader class figures with junk to make them leader, right? I'm gonna say it's a Double Dealer. That's who I'm thinking it is. It seems kind of ass backwards to have a Double Dealer out at the same time as the regular one, but that's who I'm thinking it is.
Well, it was ass backwards to have the Ultra Magnus out at the same time.
That's true. That's true.
Could they repaint Double Dealer into something?
If you're a fan of Blitzwing, that was what I was going to say. If you follow the Generations line, Blitzwing seems to be what it goes into. Anyway, I'll leave you guys to work on that.
Well, I actually got one pre-ordered before the names were revealed. I'm like, this is the most expensive one. It's probably the secret box.
So you did. You ordered a secret box.
Yeah.
Oh, cool. Good for you. So Generation Selects reveals. So they have gone on and officially revealed some stuff. And so Exhaust, which I think everyone really knew already. That one's, I mean, it's been kind of kicking around for a while. Grease Pit, again, we knew, and Hubcap, which is finally officially confirmed, is the Earthrise Cliffjumper remold, which we've seen for a few weeks now. A couple Amazon exclusive Earthrise 2-packs. These ones here kind of confirmed some names that we'd seen a little while ago. So we've got the Autobot Alliance, which is a deluxe Ironhide and Prowl. These are Earth modes for Ironhide and Earth mode for Prowl. So Ironhide's shield can become a G1 sled, and Prowl has a new hood and bumper. So basically look for, Earthrise smokescreen. That's the new Earthrise Prowl. So that's pretty cool. So that's an Amazon exclusive. And then the second one was the Seeker Elite 2-pack, which is Voyager, Ramjet, and Dirge. So they both have unique wings and head. So that's kind of cool, which also implies that the leak of Thrust just by himself sitting there on the floor of that one picture does kind of confirm that we're getting a single pack or just a Voyager class Thrust by himself. So that'll be kind of fun to find. And lastly, Generations Quintessen.
No.
Okay. We're not doing that? No,
we are not.
I thought we'd all agreed the name had changed.
No.
Oh, okay.
Quintesson.
Generations Quintesson convention exclusive Pit of Judgment 5-pack. This looks freaking cool. It's a Hasbro Pulse exclusive, so September release date. It includes a Quintesson Judge, Kranix, a Bailiff, a Prosecutor, and a Sharkticon. This thing is just awesome. It recreates the scene from the 86 movie with all those characters. You get a Kranix. You finally get a Kranix. It's not much. It's just a little dinky figure, but it's a Kranix, an official Kranix. Pre-orders will be available at respective retailers on Amazon, Walmart, Hasbro Press at, it was, by the time of this recording goes up, it was a while ago.
Yeah, well, and the Pit of Judgment thing actually is not available for pre-order until September.
Oh, really? Okay. I thought I missed it.
It says it will be available exclusively on Hasbro Pulse in the U.S. and Canada in September of this year. So maybe they're also working out the shipping thing for you guys.
I don't know.
Probably not.
I was looking at buying or pre-ordering what's his nuts, the Maverick, and it's $49.99 US, like I had mentioned, and shipping was going to cost me $22. I cannot order this thing without ordering a whole bunch of other crap as well. So it's not worth it. So they got to figure out something. But yeah, this is the coolest thing that I've seen them kind of do in a while. And from what I can gather from the pictures they've shown, and again, we've got all the pictures here sitting in the show notes, is that you can actually see the entire scene laid out in the box. So you can sit the box on your shelf. You don't have to open it. There's a huge window in there, and it shows you everything. So if you want to open it, go ahead, you open it. It's fine. They're all there. You can play with them, do whatever you want. But you can leave it sealed in the box and just admire the beauty of this thing because it just looks awesome. If I can manage to get one of these things, that's what I want to do. Anybody have any kind of comments on what the Fan First Friday event kind of revealed? Anything stand out to them?
Yeah, the Pit of Judgment was that's my thing I'm seeking out. So I've already pre-ordered the Quintesson Judge. I pre-ordered that, I think, back in Toy Fair when they first announced it. But I'm hesitant now. Do I cancel that pre-order now and hope I get this in September? Or should I wait until September, pre-order that one, and then cancel the other one, hoping that it's not so close that they've already shipped it to me?
I would leave this big one sealed and still get the one you can open.
Well, that's a thought. But yeah, I think this is awesome. Yeah, I mean the little the prosecutor, Kranix, and the bailiff that is a remold of an Alicon. I think that's awesome. Yeah, that's an awesome little package with and with the Quintesson, of course. Yeah, that makes me think there's. I mean, this is like, for anyone who loves the '86 movie, this is just an awesome little set. I wonder how this is going to, since they are putting this in the War for Cybertron line, I wonder how much the Quintessons are going to be involved in the actual show for like the next year Earthrise series. If the Quintessons are going to show up and there's going to be like a callback to the '86 movie. Mm-hmm. I would be fine with that. I mean, especially since we've seen the War for Cybertron art that the Quintesson face features prominently there.
Possibly.
But yeah. And it comes with a Sharktacon too. I forgot the Sharktacon. It comes with that.
I don't know how you could forget about that.
So yeah, that was my favorite thing. Second behind that was Elita 1. I really think that's cool. Although I'm still not a fan of the car mode. I mean, it is basically a remold of RC. I still think the car mode is a little plain, but Elita 1 is, I think it's great to have her getting a really nice G1 inspired character. And yeah, I just wish that we could get more, like just more variation in the molds for the female Transformers eventually. I understand like wanting to reuse designs, but can we get like, I don't know.
They could reuse some of the other figures and make them into female characters.
Yeah.
There's nothing saying that they can't do that.
Right, exactly.
They don't have to have this hourglass figure that the RC mold has.
But I'm happy with Elita 1. And the Soundwave, I'm also, of course, Soundwave was completely sold out on Walmart before I even got a chance to look at it. So good job there on making everything Walmart exclusive. And then I just didn't bother. I mean, I could have pre-ordered the Elita 1 and the Bumblebee, which those are the other two figures I was looking at. But I just got kind of fed up and said, I'll figure this out later. I don't need to reward Walmart for their terrible distribution situation and practices. But not that that'll make a difference to Walmart. The one thing I do like, one nitpick that I'll give for all these reveals is I am a little bit it makes me a little bit just grumbly to see how much of these figures are just taking the existing we had all these classic characters in the War for Cybertron line in Siege with their quote unquote Cybertronian modes, and we were all like, yeah, that's just it just looks like an Earth mode, a slightly different. And now we've got all these figures with their classic Earth modes, and it's like, you're really, I mean, you're just preying on, I mean, I know it's our own fault for having that collector mentality, but you're just preying on us, like putting out a figure and saying, oh, here's this figure, and then the very next year saying, oh, here's this figure again, the way you actually wanted it. So just double dip. And I know that's, you know, that's on us. We shouldn't do that, because I do own an Ironhide, but this Ironhide looks pretty sweet. So yeah, that just, I mean, I understand the business practices behind it. I understand the reasoning. I understand everything, but it still hurts my heart a little bit.
Gotta go for the full Shelton there, huh?
No. But I am glad that I did not pick up Cliff Jumper in the store when I saw him. So, because now I can get the Bumblebee, because I think, I really like the way the Bumblebee looks, and having that as a VW bug, when we haven't had him as a VW bug in a long time other than Masterpiece, I think that's a special figure there. But it's everything looks really good, but they are all remolds of existing designs, so
That's true. Mike, what are your thoughts of this here? I know that you're very interested in making a 12 combiner grease pit. So, you know, I mean, you can order a grease pit right now on Hasbro Pulse. You can order 12 of them and build the greasiest pit combiner. I don't know what that kind of thing looks like, but I think you'll find out. What is it? What are your thoughts on the other things, though?
Totally down for a 12 combiner grease pit. I think we should probably crank it up a little bit, though. Maybe go for like 15, 20.
That's so greasy.
It'll just slide right out of your hand. Mixed feelings about a lot of this stuff. The Elita one, the Red Alert, the Wheeljack, and everything. It's like, cool, whatever. Don't particularly care that much. The Bumblebee, don't particularly care. The Prime, don't particularly care. The Soundwave, I am totally digging that Soundwave, and I've actually been looking for a classics, like a good modern classics Soundwave for a long time, and nothing that's come out before now is really kind of like scratch that itch. But this one, I think, definitely does. So, assuming I can ever find the thing, I will be picking Soundwave up. So digging that. Exhaust is kind of cool, but whatever. Grease Pit. Okay. I am disappointed in Grease Pit so much. I love Ironworks. I have 2 of them. I love the design on Airwave, and I'm hoping to get that soon. And it just feels like the guy dialed it in here on Grease Pit. It's just Ironworks. I think with like the weaponizer stuff like this, especially stuff that separates and can come apart really easily, I think you can do a lot more in terms of remolds than you can for something like a Bumblebee or a Cliff Jumper or a Prime or something like that. Since it breaks apart, it's so much easier to do new pieces. And what did they do? They took away the hook, put some gas tanks in there, which just looks stupid as all shit, like connected to his arm, and they put a sign on there. Okay, no, that does not make me happy. If they did some,
to be fair, the sign and the gas pumps were on the original toy.
So I totally understand why they did it. It just doesn't look good. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I wish they would just really do like some extra remolded parts to it, and it'd be so easy to do it with that because they all separate. You don't have to worry about it like connecting or anything. But yeah, I wonder what they're going to do with the last one there. It's Ironworks, it's Grease Pit, it's Airwave, Hothouse, the fire station.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So I wonder what they're going to do on that. It doesn't really look a whole lot like the original Airwave did. I can kind of see why they did the repaints on these two, but it's like, I don't know. So I wish they did some more stuff to it, some more mold changes, and I wish they did that. Hubcap, I have no idea why I like this figure so much, but I do. So I will be getting Hubcap. The Seekers, I already passed on Starscream and out of everything else, so I'm not too big a fan right now of this mold. I have the classics mold. I'm okay with them still, so I'm going to stick with those. The Ironhide and Prowl 2-packs, though, I did already pre-order, so I'm looking forward to getting those. I don't know why I dig the Ironhide mold so much, but I do. Prowl, just a little extra on there. But yeah, for some reason, digging that Ironhide mold a lot. All right, so now, the Pit of Judgment. I'm going to disagree with you, Charles.
You don't like it?
I suppose disagree is a strong word for it. I like all of the individual pieces. I like all of the individual figures. I like the backdrop they did. I like everything all like by itself. But once you put it all together, everything is just so painfully out of scale. It looks weird. Krennic, was the guy with the tentacles, was that the bailiff or the prosecutor?
He's the prosecutor.
So Krennic, the prosecutor, and even the Sharktacon all fit together really nicely. And if they had those guys just in a pack by themselves, yeah, you know what, cool. That works. But even the bailiff, it's like, okay, maybe he's just a really large bot, whatever. But the judge is so massive. I mean, seriously, look at him. He's like 4 times the size of Krennic. Oh man,
it's perspective. He's really close, and Krennic is really far away at the bottom of the pit.
Sure, we'll go with that. Don't get me wrong. I love the idea, and I hope they keep on doing more stuff like this because I really love the concept for it. But it just looks so wrong. But yeah. You know what? If they did just the Krennic and the bailiff as little kind of minifigures like that, and had the prosecutor. If they had the bailiff with them in that size, I would love that. I'd buy that, even if they weren't transforming. It's I'd still pick up a set of that stuff. That's just cool. But yeah, ooh man.
I think for me, scale has never really bothered me too much, so I'm willing to overlook that just for all these cool figures together. I know the judge is really too big for everything else, but I really like the detail on the Quintesson faces, and they've even got the movable mouths. So I'm happy to just have a really detailed Quintesson, and I'm okay with it not being the scale.
Yeah, no, I can see that. I can definitely see that. Just, I guess I'm just too much into scale on this stuff. I'm a very visual person when it comes to setting stuff up, and I like having things all in a consistent scale. So, yeah, I mean, it's totally me on that. I totally get that. But yeah, it's.
No, you hate Transformers and everything. You hate everything.
Yeah.
That's what you just said. Just like me. When I said I didn't like Top Gun, that means I hate everything in Transformers.
Oh, totally. We're hating.
Well, you also don't like Top Gun? Truth comes out.
Don't worry, Charles. We're just hating buddies over here. All right. Yeah, those are my thoughts on it.
Jeremy?
Do you hate everything?
What is Jeremy, what do you hate?
Well, I hate Alita's vehicle mode, but that's largely it right now. I mean, I like Alita. The paint job, I don't remember in the show, like the trailers and stuff, her having that lighter pink shade, but they might have just needed to kind of contrast some stuff. But I like that she has, an actual toy. I think that's great. I'm very happy that I haven't picked up a lot of these figures until now, so I can kind of have my choice. The Bumblebee was a surprise in terms of the vehicle mode. I was not expecting, we had heard rumors that they were losing the VW license. And I guess those were false because we got a VW bug. I don't have the cliff jumper, so I will likely end up getting this Bumblebee at some point. The Soundwave, I think, it just looks perfect. I really, really like the Soundwave. It's, we've all been complaining for months about the whole scratched up tape window, and to get this one that is just so pristine, and I love it. The colors look great. The boombox mode looks great. I wasn't able to pre-order it, but that one is one that's definitely on my want list. And what was the other one I wanted to talk about? The Ironhide, I think also there's just something about it. It's not completely cartoon accurate, but it screams 1980s van. So I think it's close enough. I have the Ratchet, but I think I would probably pick
It looks so good, doesn't it?
And then the Pit of Judgment, Mike is wrong. It looks great. You're right about the scale, but this is Transformers. Whoever said scale was anything in Transformers?
Me.
We're getting a Kranix figure. We've never gotten a Kranix. So I really like it. I don't have the Quintessen pre-ordered. But no, I'm looking forward to that when it is available. And I have a feeling that I'm going to have to buy one for Daryl.
Likely.
So, yeah, it looks good. So I'm excited about these reveals much more, I think, than the last one.
Right on. Well, we're going to move on to one last topic here for the Toys Show. And that's just a bit of... we're bidding farewell to a name and a face that we've come to know quite well over the last little while. Mr. John Hasbro Warden is moving on from the Transformers brand. He's leaving. Not leaving Hasbro, but he's leaving Transformers. He's moving on to go on to be the global design lead for Power Rangers and Ghostbusters. I guess he's done so well with Transformers that they want him to kind of head up the Power Rangers division and Ghostbusters stuff. Power Rangers, obviously, if you've been keeping up, is something that Hasbro just acquired within the last couple of years. And they've been putting out some good figures and kind of getting back into it, that way. But something that's been seriously lacking from Power Rangers has been Zords. So... guess what John Warden's being brought in for? Zords. So, I'm happy for the Power Rangers guys. This will be fun, and I'll be keeping an eye on to see what the Zords that they come out with. Ghostbusters, I don't know what he's going to do with Ghostbusters, but cool. I'm happy for him. He gave us 6 years, and who knows what the future holds? Maybe at one point he'll not work for Hasbro anymore, and we can, he'll have retired or moved on to something else, and we'll have him at a TFCon or something like that we can talk to him and, have a much longer sit down.
Maybe he'll grow out a beard.
Maybe. Go off and live in the woods somewhere. Does anybody else want to mention anything about John?
Well, I do like his sign off here on the tweet that his last thing, because apparently there's been a debate whether he liked Beast Wars or not. He signed off saying that he loves Beast Wars. So,
right.
John Hasbro's all right with me.
Well, what was that referring to, Jeremy? Would you like to elaborate as to what that was actually referring to?
I don't know. Maybe you'll have to listen to Alt Mode.
Oh, there you go. Tune in to Alt Mode for more detail as to why John Hasbro left Hasbro. Or not Hasbro, but Transformers.
No, just why he referenced Beast Wars.
Right. Anyway, that's enough of that nonsense. Let's move on from our toy section.
All right, and we will move on to trips to the store. This is where we show off all the cool Transformers stuff we got this week. We do this as a video so you can see everything we got in beautiful high definition on YouTube. But we'll also put the audio right here in the show so you can continue to listen as we describe everything in loving detail. So without further ado, trips to the store.
The Transmissions Podcast will return after these messages.
All right, let's talk about the stuff we got. And Mike, we're going to start with you. I think you've got a few items to show off.
I do got a couple of things. So thanks to one of our Discord users, our Discord friends, Stupid Monkey, he hooked me up with a couple of pieces that I've been missing from my collection. So Darkstream from the Power Core Combiners line. One of the repaints that came out, I think on like wave 3 or something like that. That was an entire wave of repaints. I passed on all of them and regretted it ever since. He also hooked me up with something that I never thought I'd be able to find easily. The Target exclusive Barricade and Vortex?
Yes.
Yeah, Vortex. From the Energon series, the Energon Bruticus Combiners stuff, which, as you can see, I have attached to my fans project Munitioner and Explorer for the Bruticus set. So normally you can only find these things on eBay as a complete set for like $70-$80 for just the Energon figures alone. But he was nice enough to sell me the individual figures that I needed. So that was cool. So big thank you to Stupid Monkey for that. And the last thing is Charles got me a power supply for my microphone so I can record directly into my computer, so I don't have to worry about setting up a soundboard every time I want to record.
Well, that's from the pulp. That's from the podcast. It's not from me directly.
Daryl, it has a transformer in it.
I
transform
understand what it
alternating
is.
current to direct current.
I understand what it is. I'm just wondering why Charles is buying you presents and not me.
Because he likes me. He likes me better than you.
I'm the podcast guy.
Daryl, who paid for your computer?
You,
Charles.
I think our donatrons did. Thank you, donatrons.
Listen, Charles only has enough room in his heart for one or two people at a time, and
I've
me.
been in there long enough,
Sorry.
I guess. Right? It's
Yeah.
time to move me out. I'm stand on my own 2 feet.
slide you over.
I already got you that Bumblebee that I never sent or gave to you, Daryl. That's still sitting here.
It's true.
But Charles still has a bunch of stuff from me that he hasn't sent to me,
Yeah.
so I guess, 6 of one, half dozen the other, right?
Quarantine.
Don't worry, there's still plenty of room in his heart for you, Daryl.
His heart's so much smaller now.
90% of the weight was in his heart.
That was the point of the weight loss.
All right, I'm done.
All right. I'm going to go next because I don't have that much stuff. First up, Secrets and Lies, Transformers Secrets and Lies, Transformers 84, Issue 1, the Guido Guidi cover. This is one of the books we really enjoyed. We reviewed this last week on Transmissions Alt Mode. You should pick it up if you are a fan of the 80s Marvel Comics, Transformers Marvel Comics. This is a cool issue. Also, if you have not already, pick up Transformers 84 number 0 from last year. This ties in directly into that story. So, very cool. I have finally, after a long drought, nothing around here. My target is a Transformers Desert. They finally had some Earthrise figures, and I am now in the Ironworks club.
Yeah!
I picked up an Ironworks,
Right.
and this was my first Earthrise figure. So I got the little tech spec reader thing. Yay! I'm really glad you guys, Hasbro, added these things back in. But Ironworks is a cool little figure. Very nice. I love him. I took him out and played with him. You see he is out of the package. I did transform him.
More than I've done.
He is very parts for me, but of course that's expected. That's what he is. And yeah, here's the package. And it's got a little thing where you can, let's see, you can read Velocitron is in there when you put the, I don't know if you can see that. Probably can't.
Yep, we can.
A little bit.
Yep.
And I guess that's probably Velocitron and Cybertronian right above it too. So Jeremy, what did you get?
First off, I've got some comics. I got the same Transformers 84 Secrets and Lies you got with the Guido Guidi cover, but I also got Casey Collar, John Paul Bove cover.
Nice. John Paul Boyer.
Yeah. And then I also got Galaxies number 7. I think a couple weeks since I've been in the shop. So that was fun. And then I also got alternate universe Optimus Prime, which I'm likely to keep in the box, at least for right now, because the presentation is so cool. So you open up the box, and I didn't open it first to see how it
contents may have shifted.
So there, I might actually open them up then. But it's Dead Optimus Prime from the 86 movie. And since my kid hadn't seen the movie yet, when he was asking, why he was gray, we're like, it's alternate universe. He's just from a different universe.
A different universe where he's dead.
He'll see the movie soon enough. We're working our way through season 2 of the G1 series now. But I really like it. The head sculpt, like the faceplate's all broken up, and you can see. Well, you might not be able to see here, but one of the little ear thingies is broken, and so I really like what they've done here. There's a little bit of black paint kind of on his midsection to, I guess, show where Megatron got him, but it's really hard to see. Other than that, he's just gray, and I don't know, I like him. I'm sure that the Earthrise secret box is going to probably end up being the Nemesis Prime, the same mold. that with my luck, that's what it's going to be. But anyway, it's cool. The figure itself is the same as the Earthrise figure, and that's an awesome Prime. So that's all I got.
Nice. All right, Daryl. We come to you. You're in the final position. We heard you've got a few things this week, so show it off. Let us know what you got. Show us what you got.
I will.
What's in the box?
Start off with the books. Again, I do have the same comics as you guys have. Guido Guidi cover for Secrets and Lies, #1. Then I do have the Casey Collar cover, and that's another really cool one. And I did also get the RI cover. So this is the Nick Roach cover.
Full Shelton.
Great cover.
Not quite.
Didn't get the Jeff Senior.
Yeah, there was a Jeff Senior one, and I wasn't really interested in that one. It's a cool cover, but it had the stamps for the Autobot logos, and that throws me. So
yep, that one's going for a high price online.
Is it?
Yeah.
I did get in a package this week. 2 of them, actually. I ordered a thing from China, which showed up. It cost me $27 US to ship, and I think it was well spent because I still have never seen these things in the store. This is the Micromaster Spy Patrol #2, Rumble and Rat-Bat. So I had to order these things online from AliExpress, and yeah, $27 for both of them, and they're cool. They're fun. They're little. This is the first time I've had messing with the actual humanoid mode for the tapes, and it's cool. I like it. They do have the ability to combine, which I don't think was really something they meant to do. But if you put them back to back, they're little pegs that they use to join onto Soundwave will combine them, and so you can have a little winged Rumble. They're fun. They're tiny. It's cool.
Are the legs as stubby on Frumble as they look in the pictures?
They're pretty stubby. Yeah. So I don't know whether you can really tell here. They're pretty stubby, but I mean everything kind of works. He in tape mode he fits in Soundwave, which is really all I care about.
And it costs you about the same to ship it from China as it would be to ship it from Hasbro Pulse.
Exactly. There you go. And Hasbro Pulse was sold out. I did also get a package from our good friend and fellow co-host, Dr. Pants. So I had mentioned to him that I was missing one figure from being being line complete from Titan Masters, and it was Deluxe Slug Slinger. And he's like, "Oh, I'm not really interested in keeping mine. I'm kind of trying to, go down on mine. So, if you want it, I'll just send it to you for shipping." And I'm like, "Yeah, I'll take that." So he did, and here he is. He arrived, and it's funny because this thing actually caused me a little bit of stress because I had tracking on it, and it showed as being delivered, but nothing was there. So, and my family has been home, and I actually was home at lunchtime when the email came in that this thing had been delivered. And I'm like, what the fuck, guys? Like, where is this thing? So I called the post office and I filed a report and did all that stuff. And they said, well, we'll have a lookout for it. And it ended up showing up the next day. I don't think via the postman. So somebody, whoever got it delivered, just brought it over. So whoever got it, thank you very much. But yeah, so anyway, it was packaged very well. Thank you, Dr. Pants. I think I'm line complete now on Titan Masters, Titan Returns. Yeah,
Titan's Return.
So
Titan's Return.
So you have good neighbors who don't steal your packages.
Yes, I do. There are people who would steal stuff in the area, but whoever got it just brought it over. So that was pretty fun. But I was a little worried for a bit because the one thing that I ordered actually comes from a buddy and it didn't show up. So I was a little worried. But other than that, I think I'm good for right now. I have a couple other things that I'm trying to sparse out because I don't know whether you noticed, but we're in a pandemic and it's hard to shop. But that's it. That's all I got this week.
And that will do it for Trips to the Store.
We now return to the Transmissions Podcast.
All right, we're back from our trips to the store, and we will finish up the show with convention news.
Okay, in convention news, not really unexpected, but it's now official. Both TFCon Toronto 2020 and TFCon Chicago 2020 have been canceled. It is due to the ongoing pandemic and the fact that right now the borders are closed between the U.S. and Canada. I think it's more the Canada people don't want the U.S. people in their country.
That's it.
But
you got it.
Because of that makes it nearly impossible for guests to show up at Toronto and for the convention organizers to show up in Chicago. So pretty much every convention this year is done. It's not happening. Although DairyCon still has on there that they're still doing something, so we'll see. I'm not holding out hope that it's actually going to happen. But they did also announce that TFCon 2021 in Toronto will be the weekend of July 9th. So I believe they're going to, if you had an exhibitor booking for 2020, it's being transferred to next year with no action required. So if you do need a refund, contact TFCon by email before the end of July, and they will do that. Otherwise, you'll just, get your exhibitor booth next year.
My wife asked me was this weekend TFCon? I was like, no, it was actually last weekend. She's like, oh, did they still have it? I was like, no. There's still a pandemic.
Yeah.
There was a post on Reddit this morning, and it was a person saying, my Perth Nexus Toy Fair haul, first time at a Toy Con, couple of tasty finds, and an Earthrise Prime at less than retail. And I was like, my response to them was, I think the story here is that you attended a convention. How? And can I go?
Well, Australia.
And it was Australia. Yeah, they attended it in Australia. So, yeah, well done to this person for being able to go to a convention. Well done to Australia for hosting a convention. Yeah, that just blew me away. I was like, a convention with Transformers? Amazing.
But going on to a convention that is happening next week, I guess this week, Comic-Con at Home. There are going to be some things that are sold on the web, and in this case, Symbiote Studios is going to be having a couple plushies that you can buy, or you can pre-order. One is an Optimus Prime, and one is a Soundwave. They are very cute looking. If you're into the plushie Transformers, these are. They also come with enamel Transformer pins, so that could also be, a selling point. They're going to be available for pre-order on July 22nd, 6 p.m. Check out the links in the show notes if you're interested in that.
That is the day this show is going.
I'm sure we'll
up,
have a lot. Oh, so there, go order it if you want it. I'm sure we're going to have some more Comic-Con at Home news in alt mode this week. So if you want some IDW goodies, be sure to listen to that show and get the details.
All right, that's it for convention news, and that will do it for this episode of Transmissions. Mike, anything you want to plug before we sign off here?
Just keep on listening to Empire of Rust. You can follow me on Twitter at Minervion. It's Minervion. I don't always get back to people really quickly on Twitter, but it's always good to give a follow. And if you're in our Discord channels, I have actually been posting a bunch of like toy photography. I used to be into photography quite a bit when I was in college, and I'm trying to get back into it a little bit now. So if you are inclined to take a look at stuff like that, go ahead and join the Discord, take a look in the creative channel, and you'll see some new posts from me.
All right. And Empire of Rust, of course, you can find that at transmissionspodcast.com/rust. So, and it should, if you're already subscribed to the main Transmissions feed, you should be getting all those episodes. So keep listening. All right, everyone. Thanks for listening, and we will see you next time. Bye-bye.
See you later.
Bye.
Later.
Hey everyone, thanks for listening to this episode of Transmissions. But just because this episode is over doesn't mean the Transformers fun has to stop. Join us and other Transformers fans on our Discord chat server by visiting transmissionspodcast.com/discord. If you would like to learn more about how you could support the Transmissions Podcast, just visit transmissionspodcast.com/support. Thank you all for listening, and we'll see you again next week.
Okay.
See, I try to get my guys on Empire of Rust to do the 5 seconds of silence, but none of them can stay silent for 5 seconds.
You can't refuse to edit your own show.
That's true. If you fuckers don't be quiet, I'm not going to edit this.
I'll turn this podcast around. Yeah,
man.
Maybe talk into the microphone.
So I shouldn't talk like this?
There we go. That's the
high energy,
Charles.
high energy. Okay, I'm good.
Do
I'm
it,
good.
girl.
It's okay. Nobody listens right to the end anyway.
Aw, sad face.
Nobody puts bloopers in anymore.
We've had bloopers in.
Except
We
me,
just don't listen to them.
every week. Yeah, I guess so. Maybe I should start putting a couple more Darnell's bloopers in. Maybe he'll listen.
It's not like he doesn't give you
I
plenty.
think that's what I'm saying.
Well, you give me shit, I'm going to put out shit. So,
Oh. Yikes.
Mike, you're sniffing a lot.
Yeah, man. Do another line of Coke or something.
so
There you go. Yeah.
it's all for you.
Absolutely hate that there's one major company or country in the world that refuses to use metric measurements. Continuously fucking up everybody else. Oh, there goes Mike's camera.
There you go, complaining about metric system.
There was also like a full peg of rungs. There were like 10 rungs on the peg. I was like, well, this is 3 months late, but I hope some people pick this up.
Charles, they're on pegs, not rungs.
Get out, Mike.